Hi, it's Josh from BrightTALK. I'm here at Infosecurity Europe. I'm joined by Francois Raynaud today from ASOS. Francois, thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
So as a fellow European, I guess Brexit is on everyone's minds at the moment. What do you think a potential UK leaving would do for the kind of cybersecurity ecosystem in Europe?
Right, so we've got a few aspects about the UK leaving the European Union as an organisation. First one is going to be about innovation. Will we see all the innovation basically going back into the European Union rather than actually being exported into the UK? Another one is going to be about the skills as well. It's just will it be so beneficial for people to come from Europe to the UK to work, being not part of the European Union at this point, or will they actually go back and just stay within Europe to actually contain all the skills? The other aspect which is interesting is the compliance aspect. So you've got two rules at the moment. If you get breached, if you've got an incident, in 2018 you will have the ICO, which is going to charge you up to 2% of the global turnover, but you'll also have the GDPR, which is going to charge you up to 5%. So I guess it's just like leaving the European Union. Is it going to give the UK the opportunity to actually discuss this type of fines? Are you going to end up with double the amount of fines? Are you going to end up with companies which want to actually just retrieve any operation out of the UK in order not to be double fined, or vice versa? So if you've got a UK company which is saying, I want to avoid any of the GDPR fines, I'm going to solely trade in the UK, you're going to restrict your market. If you want to actually trade within the EU, how are you going to do that? How are you going to influence those two targets? So it's not really, I can't tell you if it's going to be good or bad, but that's some of the aspects that I think we should take into consideration.
So shifting gears a bit, let's look at the financial services industry. They've had a lot of costly breaches lately. What do you think they can be doing to better protect themselves?
Well, you've got two aspects. Either the company will actually break out themselves, so you'll end up independent companies, which is going to be one in the UK, one in the rest of the world. But that's completely defeating this globalization of companies. So you're not going to get the economy at scale as a company to do that. How you're going to do it, you will have to further protect yourself, you'll have to further implement some kind of methodology to prevent all those threats, identify the risk early in order to avoid any kind of breaches. But if you've got any kind of breaches, you've still got to respond accordingly. To be honest, it's time for companies to get fined for when they're getting breached. There's never been any consequences for any company. Therefore, at the moment, you just get fined and you just continue your merry way without any improving security. So this is going to be a bit of a game changer for the security industry, making security at the board level a bit more prominent.
And for these big data breaches, where are you seeing kind of the key threat actors coming from? Is there a certain characteristic or a certain character that's making these big breaches?
At the end of the day, we target from everything. We target from activism, we target from terrorists, we target from scammers, we target from people. Everybody wants to make some money. And as soon as you've got money, as soon as you end up like a high-profile target, as a high-profile new target. And that's the main issue. Threat intelligence is the way to actually understand where your risks are. So you need to have a proper threat intelligence in order to identify your risk and any of the threat actors early to embed those controls part of your security strategy.
So you touched on threat intelligence there as a kind of way to combat these threat actors. If you're looking for the next kind of 5 years, what areas do you think are quite exciting and positive about the InfoSec world? Maybe interesting developments that are making us better able to protect ourselves?
So there is a big movement which is growing at the moment, is DevSecOps. So DevSecOps is following the way of what DevOps has been doing for 10 years, which is building the infrastructure as code. There is no point, the only problem that we've got in security that those hands, which is basically a human creating problems. So what we're trying to do with DevSecOps is actually incorporate security part of the development lifecycle. Just, as we say, shift it to the left in order to ensure that you don't end up having to deal with incidents later on, but you actually identify the threat and the risk early, so you can do your threat modeling accordingly in order to put the controls early on within the pipeline. So that is going to be a really big game changer within the industry, as in we need to break all those silos. Security has been really bad at communicating. We're just like, type of people that like to be in a dark room and just like creating lots of papers and creating lots of policy. A policy on a piece of paper is not working in this day and age of infrastructure as code. So we need to build our security policy, we need to build our risk profile, part of this overall methodology of the new platforms.
Security from the ground up then?
Exactly, security from the ground up, making security needs to be embedded within the business processes. If your board is not aware of what are the threat actors, what are the risks, they can't actually make a good decision on where to go on the next market. So there is always, you need to understand where you're going, how you're going there, and security is a big part of it. We shouldn't negate it.
Francois, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
We're at Infosecurity Europe all week, so stay on BrightTALK.com for more cybersecurity insights.